found the vibe.
Blessing, morning, testimony. Go follow, you will go. This year, good news, giant antibody. Follow, you will go. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my everything I've been wanting, manifesting for. Even before you call me, no answer. My Baba is so sure you can feel for you. Even before you call me, no answer. My Baba is so sure you can feel for you. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my everything I've been wanting,
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're here again, just out here getting our 10k steps a day done. I know a few of you have joined our previous lives. I might turn that down a bit if it's getting a bit too loud. So on this live stream, we're not only talking about getting our 10k steps in, I'm also talking to you about the health benefits of getting up and moving. If you've been on my lives before, I may sound like a broken record, but honestly, I don't think we can overemphasize just how important those health benefits are. So last year I decided to kind of take things into my own hands. I know that we all have very, very busy lives, and as busy working people, whether we're parents or not, it can be very difficult to carve out that extra time with the demands of day-to-day life. Everything is so they want you meeting targets round the clock, so it can get very difficult to just get your exercise in, get moving. And the health benefits of walking, like whenever I talk to people in my career about, health and wellness, whenever we talk about how our weight impacts things like our cognition. So our cognition is how we think and how we process things, our ability. Should I turn this down a bit more? Is this too loud? Okay, so when we carry a bit more weight, which is the fatty tissue, the adipose tissue, Happy New Year, Mohammed says put it in reverse. When we do that, it goes into different aspects of our bodies and causes problems for us. And I think sometimes being able to visualize what the goal is. So when I started to take my wellness and my fitness more seriously, I found that it was more effective in terms of I could see the results a lot quicker because of what I had set my target and my goals as. And I'll explain what that means. So a lot of the times, the primary focus for us is the scale. Like, we just want to see what's happening on that scale. Is it moving? Is it shifting? If it's not, then we start to get a bit frustrated and burnt out. However, with this wellness lifestyle as the goal, it actually is more beneficial to see what the impact of what we're doing is from a bigger scale. So we're blowing that up and taking it beyond just that tiny fine point of, if the scale isn't moving, then I'm not winning, which can be very, very difficult to manage. So when your fatty tissues are a bit more than it was intended for your body composition, fat tissues start to store up in places where they shouldn't and where they will cause us problems. I personally carry most of my extra weight in that midsection, and that's one of the most unhealthy areas to carry your weight. Some people carry their weight more in their hips, some more in their arms, and some it's just a more even distribution. So why is that midsection weight the most unhealthy or the most dangerous to carry? That's because it increases our cardiovascular risk. And what does that mean in everyday terms? So cardiovascular disease are your risk of things like strokes and heart attacks, and those things, the risk for those things increases when there's an excess buildup of adipose tissue. So if you imagine your blood vessels to be, to have an opening just like that, and when everything is nice and clear, the blood flows in, it flows out nice and easy. When your heart pumps blood around the body, it gets to your kidneys, it gets to your brain, it gets to every part of the body where it needs to go in order to keep you, functioning at your optimal level. However, as we get older, whether that be you've gone from your teens to your 20s, or you've gone from your 20s to your 30s, as you age, no matter how young you are, gradually you start to notice that you're holding on to a bit more of that fatty tissue than you did 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And when you start to hold on to it, that nice and open blood vessel starts to narrow up because the fatty cells are building up on the inside. And because it's narrowing, up, the blood flow to it is not as good as it should be. So you're not as effective in your daily functioning because the amount of blood that should get to your brain to help perfuse it, to help send oxygen and nutrients and all the good stuff, the amount of blood that should go per minute, for example, is not as much as you're getting. So people start to experience things like brain fog. I've experienced brain fog, and it can be one of the biggest factors for reducing productivity. So when we start to do things like move a bit more, we're reducing those fat stores, and gradually we can begin to chip away at the cholesterol that's built up in our blood vessels, that's causing that reduced perfusion and causing that reduction in our brain function. Now remember that our blood vessels take blood to every single part of our body. So that example was specifically relating to the brain, but imagine reduced blood supply, reduced oxygen, and oxygen is one of the important things that the body needs. All of those being reduced to different parts of the body, it compounds, the effect compounds, and people start to become unwell, their kidneys start to fail. The fatty cells, apart from affecting the blood supply to organs like the liver, for example, people actually do get fatty infiltrates, so fatty tissue within the liver. So say you have a liver this big, just as an example, but half of it is now replaced with fatty tissue. Clearly, the functioning of that liver will not be as optimal as it should be. and it would be nice to read up about what the functioning of the liver is, but just a few are it helps us to metabolize, so it just means it processes a lot of the things that we put in our mouth, so it helps us handle it so that we get rid of the parts of it that we do not need and we use up the parts that our body actually does need. It can help with things like clotting, so I graze my arm against something sharp. It's what stops me bleeding out. It does have a lot of very important functions. Again, think about cholesterol building up and that also reducing blood flow to the kidneys. Kidneys are one of the major organs for excreting a lot of the waste products that we have after our body has metabolized different elements, things that we eat and stuff like that. Reduced blood flow to the kidneys means that, again, it's not functioning as optimally as we should function. So whenever you think about fitness, whenever I think about fitness, as I feel like the losing of the weight, seeing the scale move in the direction that you want it to, is the bonus benefit. These are the key things that I put in my mind to say, this is what I'm doing for my body. I'm making sure that my brain can receive the nutrition that it needs. I'm making so I can think better. I can make those executive decisions that get me promoted, that gets me out there crushing my goals. So those are very, very, I think if we shift the focus from just what we can see, because for some people, they'll start walking and in a couple of minutes, that's exaggerating, but quite quickly they can see the changes. For others, it may take a bit longer to see the outward changes, but there's a lot of remodeling, a lot of good stuff going on the inside. And if you gauge our progress just by what we see on the scale, then we can get discouraged, but actually a lot of good work is going on. So this walking pad I particularly love as a walking mum. Sometimes I work from home, sometimes I go out of the house to work, but whatever I'm doing, well, we can all agree that the cost of childcare is quite expensive, and being able to get my 10,000 steps a day done from the comfort of my home, sometimes early like this before my kids even get up, to know that I smashed that goal, to know what I've done for my brain health, to know what I've done for my physical health before my day officially starts, honestly, is one of the biggest highs or the biggest endorphin boosts that I experience on a daily basis. So I'm starting my day like I'm ready to go. Like you see me and you're like, okay, yes, let's do all those things that you just said, because the heart has pumped blood around the body so many times that all the organs are ready. We're ready to go. That sluggishness, that's I can't really do this, that we tend to get if you're not a morning person, that's all gone before you've even started your day. So that's one of the other benefits I get from this. One of the important things I've been able to kind of gain from walking on my walking pad, some of the things that I hadn't, imagined, when I made the decision to get my 10K steps daily and do it from home. Because, as people, lots of us think, oh, I really should get fit for this year. I really should do my 10K steps. But, sometimes it's not always practical. You can't always get someone to watch the kids. You can't always get the time to actually go out. With this, you can put a podcast on, put some nice music on, and that reduces your cortisol. Like, you're not producing cortisol because you're going out to do something that your mind has already associated with stress. Like, oh, I've got to go out. It's freezing cold, I have to go walking. It's not so bad, I don't think, if you're running, because you warm up quite quickly, and maybe you don't mind so much. But sometimes it's freezing, the ground is slippery, you just don't want to be outdoors, maybe you're not in the safest area to go out walking too early when it's super dark or too late when it's gone dark. This fixes everything. all of the times where I relied just on outdoors movements and outdoors exercises. Hi Cecil and be done by day. Good morning. So all of those things that used to stand in the way of me getting that goal, so with my best intentions, sometimes I just sit down and I can't actually go out for a number of reasons, some of which I've listed. Sometimes I have to wait for my husband to get back home so he can watch the kids when I go out to run or walk or just get my exercise on. But with this, on a daily basis, I can hit my goals, whether I do it as one long stretch at a time or I choose to do it in little, just chip away at it throughout the day. Personally, again, as I said at the start, I prefer to just get on the walking pad, get 10k steps in, and know that every other step I get throughout the day are my bonus steps. Because of the role that I have in my 9 to 5, I don't really count the steps that I get from work as exercise because it's usually done at a slow pace. I'm talking to someone, it's not brisk enough for long enough for me to consider it exercise. So sometimes even if my step counter says, oh, you've walked, thank you. Even if my step counter says I've walked XYZ amount of steps that day, for me, I know that I haven't actually exercised. I've not got my heart rate up to the level where it can burn sufficient calories for me. Obviously, baby steps. If you don't really have a lot of movement and you decided, do you know what, I'm going to take the stairs at work rather than the elevator or the escalator, those are baby steps. You're getting from no movement to at least those steps, which is better than the no movement at all. One of the reasons why walking is absolutely beneficial to us is because it works those muscles, it gets your heart pumping. Every 10k step I do, I cover about just over 7 kilometers and I burn just over 500 calories for every 10,000 steps I do. So 5,000, not 5,000, I wish, 500 and I think 65 or 35, I don't remember off the top of my head. And to start my day knowing that I'm already in a positive, like I've already done something for my body, those are calories that I know are chipping away, at those adipose tissue where they shouldn't be. Now, obviously on a separate note, which I won't go into too much detail about, we all know, we've probably heard it 1,000 times, we cannot outrun a bad diet. So, and dieting doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to be repetitive in terms of feeling like, oh, I'm doing the same things over. You can switch it up a little bit, you can indulge yourself a little bit, otherwise you just crash and burn. If you look at it as a lifestyle, I look at it as a lifestyle. My wellness journey is a lifestyle change. It's not just like, oh, I want to lose XYZ amount of weight in 2 months. That's great and that's on the table too, but that's not the anchoring factor for my wellness journey. There's so much more riding on it, and I think that helps me achieve my goals because, as I said, for some of us, it takes a bit longer to see that scale begin to move. So even though my challenge says day 4 today, I've actually been doing this for a bit longer and I can already see the changes on the scale. I just increased the pace, by the way, you guys. So this walking plan, absolutely awesome. You can determine your pace, so you get to pick and choose how quickly you want to go, which I think is very awesome. Margaret James, good morning. Thank you for joining the live, and Imana622. So if you're new here, We're getting our 10,000 steps a day in. And I was just talking about the mental and the physical health benefits of this walking. Some people, I find running a bit, what's the word, hardcore. I used to run when I was a lot younger, when I was in secondary school and uni. I didn't mind running so much. I don't know what it is. Maybe as I get lighter, I might find it easier. But at the moment, I find running puts a lot of pressure on my body, and I feel like that can increase my cortisol level, which then becomes counterproductive. But obviously with running, even the most keen runners start out hating it. Some start out hating it every day, like the first couple of minutes is just like, because they know that once they've done it for a few minutes, then they start to love it. So this is not in any way to discourage you, but this is literally wellness for the absolute beginner. Like, start walking. Whether you use a pad or you decide to kind of alternate between walking and running on the spot, so you can get your heart rate to that level where it's burning those calories for you, then I think you're golden, and definitely better than not doing it altogether. As I said, as you get that increased blood flow to the brain, to all the vital organs in the body, you start to think a bit clearer. All of that cholesterol build-up that's reduced the blood flow and causing inflammation everywhere, that starts to settle down. So for me, I choose to see that as my goal. And obviously, I can be out here talking about all the health benefits and everything. There's also a cosmetic benefit. There's the vanity side of it. I don't know what everyone's goals are, but personally, in my mind's eye, I designed the woman I want to be. I know she's in here. I'm grateful for this woman right now because she's allowing me to get to that woman that I designed in my head. Do you know what I mean? So I can see the clothes that I'd like for her to wear. I can see the places that I'd like for her to go in her career. And I'm speaking about myself in the third person. I know it sounds crazy, but the thing is, every time I do my walks, you do get to the point where you're just like, I feel like I've been walking for 700 hours and I've only got 5k steps in, and you almost want to give up. But being able to visualize that woman and see that woman in my mind's eye, I almost project her on the wall or the surface directly in front of me, and I just see her, and I know that when I push, I'm getting closer to that woman that I'm trying to become. So that's another thing. I'm Christian, so I have Christian values, and I just sensed it that I just needed to increase my capacity. There's so much that I felt that I could be doing, but I just didn't have the physical capacity for it, so I couldn't be entrusted with those roles. And I see myself now building the capacity, like I said in my other lives, there have been opportunities that have come my way, but because I didn't have the physical capacity or the body confidence to occupy those roles, I kind of missed out. I said, I don't really want to do that. And I'm building myself, I'm setting myself up for, I've been here and I've done that, and I've got the t-shirt, and I'm trying to set myself up for something else. I want to see what else is out there, what else is in store for me, and that's one of the reasons why I walk. So, as I said, it depends on what stage you are in life. You can pick a number of other goals and reasons why you're doing your walks or doing your exercise or getting fitter and stronger and leaner, that goes beyond just seeing the scale move. Because what happens after you've reached your goal? Do you then just stop? So having those sometimes not immediately seeing goals helps to kind of keep your focus on what is more sustainable, you know, what will last you a lifetime compared to something that is just fickle. When we walk, we build muscle, especially if you're a woman and you eat right. When you're a woman, women get into their 40s, 50s and above, we start to experience something called sarcopenia. So what that means is that we start to lose a bit of our muscle mass, okay? And that can cause aches and pains as we get older, becoming more fit, you know, exercising in one capacity or the other helps with management of symptoms of a lot of conditions, including the menopause, helps people lower blood pressure. I've seen tons and tons of people who, with just exercise, have been able to come off their blood pressure medications. Obviously, do not do any of this without consulting your doctor first. But I'm just saying the benefits go way, way, way beyond just seeing that scale move. And I think once I was able to work my mind away from the scale moving, I started to see changes, and actually the scale then started to move. So pair your workouts with good nutrition so that you can really maximize the benefits of walking, whether that's walking or just working out in general. And you can do all of this from home with the right equipment. And equipment doesn't always mean you go out and buy stuff. Like, you can repurpose things. You know, if you get your cases of water, those could be your weights if you wanted to do weight training. You know, it's just about being creative. Hi, Joanne and Serino. It's about being creative, about reaching your goals. So it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. You do not have to pay for a gym membership. I have one because I weight train once a week. This is the thing, like, if I didn't have this, I honestly don't know how I would get my fitness levels to where I'm trying to go. Because I honestly do not have the time at the moment with this stage in my life and my career. I struggle with finding the time to go to the gym more often. I've got young children. I've got a husband that has a very busy career as well, so it can be quite tricky to find that extra time. But as we build muscle from our working out, we replace our muscle, our fat mass with muscle mass, and that helps us burn calories even faster. So remember what I was saying about as we get older, as women in particular, we start to experience some sarcopenia, and building that muscle so that even if there's a bit of a loss, the net result is that you still maintained your muscle, or even better, you gained more muscle mass, and that is only beneficial, right? There aren't any negative connotations to it. I'm drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, and once I decided and made up my mind, obviously these are early days, we'll see how it goes. I know people, so I get like official and unofficial mentors. I know people who have been doing this for ages, and I just say, right, where did they start? Because it's easy to be inspired when you see what their results are, that they're just maintaining now. But sometimes seeing where they started, or starting with someone and saying, I'm going to see how I go, that cannot be overemphasized. Like, it's I think one of the key things for me is, and I encourage you to try it as well, is I just decided I was going to take a before picture and it's not a before in terms of just weight. It's like I'm telling myself, Harriet, here's where you started, and so now I'm excited. Like every day I do another 10K and another 10K. I'm excited to see the woman. Remember that woman that I visualized, the one I created? I chiseled her like a sculptor. I've taken away, you know, the areas where I feel, you know, girl. Especially, I'm a C-section mom, so again, on top of just genetically carrying more of my weight in my belly area, you know, I've got the little C-section tum. And like I said, I love this body because she has brought me through 3 decades of my life. So honestly, kudos to her. And she's allowing me to walk and walk towards the woman I'm trying to become. So I've got nothing but love for her. Nothing but absolute love for her. So, just out here walking. I won't talk your ears off. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them. And sometimes you have to build capacity. Yeah. So your goal might not be, you may not start out at 10K steps a day. You may not, it takes me about an hour and a half to get my 10K in. So it is quite the labor of love. But maybe you've got half an hour in the morning or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Start there. Start gentle. Quickly get it to brisk. Because the more brisk you are, so what the NHS describes as brisk walking or brisk exercises, something that slightly gets you out of breath. Now sometimes because I talk on this live, I'm not really going at the pace that I would normally do. Gradually, I pick up my pace and I keep it moving. So, yeah. It's your remote control. You can decide, hello Manny, you can decide how quickly you go. So you get to decide the pace, which I think is very beneficial. You get to determine the level that you want to start, and you can vary it during the workout. As I said, sometimes I'll pick up the pace, and other times I'll just keep it, you know, at a level that I feel is a bit more manageable. Because sometimes if I push this all the way to the very highest setting, then you can start to feel a bit tired quickly. So if I'm trying to definitely get to my 10K, I may have 10 to 15 minute bursts where I push it really high, and then I bring it down by one setting or two, maintain that for half an hour, push it again. You know, it just helps, it keeps things moving. Like I said, this burns upwards of 500 calories for me every single day. So there's no reason, like there's absolutely no reason not to get out and walk. Whether you do it on a pad like this or you just walk on the spot and then run on the spot and then walk on the spot and run on the spot. I think the more brisk it is, obviously allowing for how you feel, You don't want to hurt yourself and then take yourself out of play for a long period of time. So I always encourage listen to your body. When you push yourself, there is some discomfort, but it shouldn't be like a persistent ow kind of pain, because that could be your body telling you that something's getting damaged or injured. So, and we don't want that. I get my stretches in before I start. Get myself a good stretching before I start. Midsection weight already much less than it was when I started. So even though the goal is not just scale watching, when I look at the scale now, I can see the results of what I'm doing, which is very beneficial. To be able to do that from the comfort of my home is just super amazing. Hi Fran, it's just super amazing. I go live because I thought if I encourage just one person, then success. I'm going to walk anyway, whether or not I go live, so I might as well let a mom like me, or a lady or a woman like me who's looking to get fitter, you know, why not let her experience somebody else who's working at it. So I've been going for nearly an hour now. So an hour typically gets me about 7,000 steps, and then it takes me an hour and a half to get to 10,000 steps, just over 10,000 steps. So in my mind, I wake up and just tell myself, right, for the next hour and a half, here's the goal, let's go. For you may want to start wherever you feel the most comfortable, because first you want to enjoy it. You don't want to start it and feel so strained and feel like you've pushed yourself far beyond where you need to go. So whether you want to start 10 minutes every day, work out how many steps that gives you. For my pace in general, 10 minutes typically gives me about 1,000 steps. So it means that if all you've got is 10 minutes in the morning before you go to work or go about your daily activity, or after you've finished your stay-at-home mom, after you've finished the school run and sorting the kids, maybe you have a quick 10 minutes. And I know that 10 minutes can be so elusive, but you've got 10 minutes. You can jump on your walker. If you haven't got one of these, you can walk on the spot and alternate between walking and running on the spot. Get your 10, get the 1,000 step in. Tomorrow, build it up to 20, or do your 1,000 steps for 3 days. Obviously, get your stretches in before and after, because you want those muscles and ligaments nice and limber, and we don't want any injuries. So, what are some of the benefits of the walking? Like I said, it's improved cognition. When we carry excess fatty tissues in different parts of our body, what can happen is a blood vessel that is usually, has a nice opening becomes a lot narrow, sometimes completely occluded by these fatty tissue, which we call cholesterol, or when it starts to build up, it forms things that we call atheroma. These are all linked to having high cholesterol levels. And when that becomes completely occluded, it increases our risk for things like strokes, heart attacks, kidney damage. I explained the mechanism before. So imagine that it just reduces the capacity of the entire body to deal with and manage your day-to-day functioning. And the best analogy that I can give is, imagine that you've had a house party and you've had lots of guests, you've had a lot of fun, and your party has ended, you need to be out the door in half an hour, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to quickly do the dishes before I head out. You're trying to be productive, you're trying to keep your environment tidy. You get to the faucet and it's only coming out in trickles. You're just getting a drop of water. Immediately, that impacts your productivity. It means that you cannot get those dishes done in the time that you set for yourself. And this is the exact same thing that happens with the body when we have a buildup of cholesterol in our blood vessels. This is the exact same thing that happens. So because the cholesterol has built up in the blood vessels and it's impeding the amount of nutrients and blood and oxygen that we can get through our bodies, it impacts the capacity and the functioning of the important organs. So the brain, people start to experience brain fog. People start to experience all sorts of different things which can then impact their daily functioning. Kaz, what do you mean, Eli? I cut my hair. Is that what you mean? So oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Kaz. I appreciate you. So when I decided to ensure that I was getting the daily 10K a day, it started to help with things like my cognition. And like I said, there are people who always have like their blood pressure bordering between high, and normal, and little things that we can do in our day-to-day lives can actually improve that. So it's amazing how much progress we can make with just walking. Like, if you don't feel like you're a gym buff and you're not at the place yet where you feel like you want to go out there and lift the weights and do all of that, you can literally start with walking, something that most of us do anyway. We're just going to pick up the pace a little bit and do it a bit more brisk than we would in our day-to-day lives. One of the reasons why I don't necessarily count like the walking that I do in my day-to-day life as being part of my 10K steps. So every day I do more than 10K steps. But my 10K, my initial 10K are usually an exercise oriented 10K because I determine the pace. Like I said, with this remote control, you can decide how quickly you go. Obviously, you want to balance that with, you don't want to injure yourself in the process. But the quicker that you can go within reason, the more calories you can burn per time. So if in 10 minutes I will burn 10 calories walking at a pace of 1 on this pad, it means that in those 10 minutes, if I upped my pace to 2, 3, 4, or 5, I'm increasing the amount of calories that I can burn by increasing my pace. So if you have a look on the NHS website, it tells us about what we can classify as moderate exercise. So something that gets you slightly out of breath. So you may not be able to tell, but this is doing that for me. So it's ever so slight. Like if I wasn't live, I would probably increase my pace. But I want to be able to talk. I want to be able to yap as I walk. So because I enjoy both, talking to you guys helps me enjoy my walk. Literally, it helps the time pass Obviously on some days, maybe I'm not as chatty. The goal of recording and going live is not to talk your ears off, but it's to share the knowledge that I do have about this, and I do not claim to be like an expert in the field, but to share that with somebody and hopefully encourage them, because whether I go live or not, I'm walking, so it's just like, you know, it's a win-win-win if I just record when I walk. And hopefully a mom or a woman or a man, you know, who's had it in their mind to get out and get more active, sees this and they decide, I can actually do this. I haven't brought a towel to wipe my face, but this pad has paid for itself several times over, because once I put it on a spreadsheet in my mind and I calculate the cost of childcare so like I said, it takes me about an hour and a half to get to 10k steps. So think about how much you'd have to pay someone for an hour and a half to look after 2 children, right? And then multiply that. So let's assume that we're doing 31 days of this, assuming I've been doing that for a while now, but assume it's 31 days. So imagine your childcare cost multiplied by 31, because you need to go outside for a walk or a run. This pays for itself before you're even halfway into the month. Like, it pays for itself several times over. And then imagine you keep up with your walk daily or every other day for an entire year. You've made huge savings and you've done it at the comfort of your home. Now, if you wanted to go on a treadmill in the gym, you'd have to get a gym membership. So again, if you wanted to do it like I'm doing on a walking pad at home, it means that this thing quickly pays for itself. Like, if you compute how much it costs you to go get a gym membership, get yourself in terms of time to the gym to get your workout for the day done, the willpower that it takes to actually get out of your house and get to the gym, this pays for itself several times over. The other benefit is, and I hadn't planned for this benefit. Hi, I am Bima. Thank you for joining. This benefit that I hadn't planned for was my kids get to see me work on my wellness and my fitness, and that in turn inspires them. I can already see, I've got a 10-year-old, I can already see supervise, she'll do a couple of minutes. So it's coming into her consciousness. For a lot of us, at 10, I wasn't thinking of wellness or workout as like a thing to incorporate into my daily life. But because she gets to see me do this walk, I haven't just run off to a gym somewhere. And I'm not vilifying gyms, I go to the gym as well, but I'm just saying that it helps the next generation. Some of us come from families where, our aunties, our uncles, maybe our parents are a bit on the heavier side, and it's almost become normal for us to be a bit on the heavier side. However, if you take a closer look into the health and wellness of those individuals, you may find that as they carry that weight, they also carry, illnesses that slow them down and reduce their capacity and potential. So you may find that diabetes and hypertension and kidney diseases and things that are directly related to us carrying weight where we shouldn't also run in the family. So I think that with doing my walks at home and my children seeing that as part of a daily lifestyle helps them So I'm helping the next generation think of fitness as a lifestyle, not as something to fix a problem that has already started. For me, I'm fixing the problem. Here's mine. I carry a lot of my weight in my midsection here. Stress is one of the big factors that determines where we carry our weight. Genetics is also another big factor. So you may notice that if you scan through certain households, everyone's got a bit of a tum. And you know, unfortunately that's the hands that they've been dealt, but we can do something about it, because that means that all other things being equal, I'm here, you know, to see my children become what it is that they set their minds to become, and I get to see them, see their children achieve the goals that they set for themselves. So health and fitness, it goes way beyond just the amount of weight that you're targeting to lose, which is it's not a bad thing to have those aspirations, but having the only goal of your fitness as weight loss, that can be counterproductive, because there's so much more that fitness has to offer. I said this a few times, apologies if I start to sound like a broken record, but as women, as we get a bit older, women in their 40s, they start to experience something called sarcopenia, and you can read up about it. And that's where there's a loss of your muscle mass. Now, the less muscle mass we have as people, the less calories that we can burn per time. Like even just from your, you know, going from the kitchen to the bathroom and up the stairs and down the stairs, you know, just your regular routine. The less muscle mass you have, the less fit you are, because the less your body can burn and deal with whatever calorie intake that you have. When we do walks like this and we modify our diets, I'm an advocate for like, you have to enjoy, you should not feel like you're starving because you're trying to eat healthy. Eating healthy and starvation are not the same thing. You may not be able to tell, but I've lost a ton of that belly fat over the last couple of weeks, maybe just a little over a month, because I've been walking. So even though my target says it's day 4, today I only started the public challenge, you know, 4 days ago, but I've been doing this for a bit longer, and I can tell you that the benefits have spoken for themselves. My clothes fit better, you know, like if you go on my page, I think I had a video where I had this shirt, or maybe the long sleeve version of it on, and literally all I could see was my belly in that picture. Do you know what I mean? And just from walking, like I'm not going out and running and doing anything hardcore like that, I've been able to kind of trim that down. The truth is, sometimes we lie to ourselves, and sometimes we say, oh, I'm pretty hot and thick, which is fine, you know, appreciate the body that you're in now, because she's going to take you to the body that you're trying to get to. But if we tell the truth about certain aspects of being pretty hot and thick, we will quickly come to the conclusion that when you start to drop those pounds or kilograms, you find that maybe your joints don't hurt as much, and maybe you don't want to sleep all the time because you're so tired all the time. Maybe you want to go out and do something. Maybe you want to wear that dress because you're feeling a bit more body confident, and because you've worn that dress, maybe then you can be on certain world stages that you probably would shy away from. So for me, wellness allows me to reach, hi Talia and Tatinda and Bima. That is awesome. Honestly, I'm Bima. it is the best investment. She said, my baby's sleeping right beside me. You know, there's nothing, and this is so slim once I'm finished. So sometimes, this used to be upstairs. You might see on my page like a couple of videos where I've recorded this upstairs. But because I'm waking up a bit earlier to do it, I brought it downstairs. You know, my husband helped me. We got it downstairs just so I don't have to wake him up. And if you live in an apartment, you know, some of the concerns that I know people have asked on previous lives is that, you know, can you have this in an apartment? Is it noisy? It actually isn't. So obviously, I don't think it's the same construction. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I had it upstairs, and someone's been walking upstairs, and we've been downstairs, and it's been absolutely fine. And I've seen other people who had this in apartments, and they've not had any issues with their downstairs neighbors. So for the price of this, honestly, it quickly pays for itself. I think, sorry to call you out, I'm Biwa, but honestly, this is one of the biggest points for me when it came to buying this, is the fact that it's an investment, but it quickly pays for it. Like, it literally will pay for itself when you start to see all of the benefits that you can achieve, that you've probably, I can't count the number of times where I've wanted to go out on a walk and then it started to rain. And in my mind, I'm just like, do I really want to be out in the rain? You know, and then I don't go. And that's that day's gone. Or I feel like, ooh, it's a bit too dark, I don't really want to be out there. That's not a problem with this, because you can literally get the same results as you would get from going outdoors by doing this right next to your bed, right in your living room, right in whatever space that you can create for it. And you can tuck it away nicely. So if your bed is high enough, you can just slide that right under the bed. It doesn't have to take up any extra space. The sofa behind me, right, for the last couple of weeks, this is where it has lived, just under that sofa. And you can't even see it. Like, when I push it all the way to the back, nobody has to know that it's there. If I had to pay for a gym membership so I could go walk, you know, because I'm protecting myself from the elements, I would spend a lot more, because not only do I walk on this, my husband walks on this, my 10-year-old, she'll do a couple of minutes on this. So the benefits, it will pay for itself, like, very quickly. I have not regretted buying it for one split second. You know, sometimes if you struggle with sleep, or just get up and do a 10-minute walk and let those endorphins get into your system, take a shower and go to sleep. Obviously, you don't want to do any hardcore exercises before bedtime, because then that can keep you up. But it's so convenient that you can do it at any time. Hello. Oh my God, look, my people are here. Thank you so much for joining. How do I keep balance? I think sometimes if you start a bit slower and just get used to it, your balance, yes, I know it's Omar, good morning. Oh my God, I can't believe that you've actually joined this. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, so how do I keep my balance? I think starting slow. So I think I'm currently on the 5 setting. So this goes from 1 to 6. So maybe start on the, I know, it's been a while. I'll send you a message in camera. I'll send you a message to talk to you a little bit. But yes, maybe starting at the setting number 1, do that for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then gradually, like, just pick up the pace. So our ears are responsible for part of our balance, and as you move, because we're not actually like moving forward per se, we're moving, but we're kind of moving, you know, around a fixed spot. It's for some people it might take the ears a while to kind of get used to that, and if you just force that movement on the ears very quickly, it may affect your balance. So doing it gradually. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then picking up the pace. So then go up to the setting number 2 and do that for another 10 minutes. Try that and see if it works for you. Oh my God, I didn't bring any towel for my face. I don't want to pause until I've got to my 10%. So you guys, I've been walking for just over an hour now, and one of the reasons why I go live is because walking, talking to people, reading your beautiful comments, it really does help pass the time. There's a little bit of light music in the background, and every time I do this when I'm not live, the music is blasting, or I've got my earphones in. But honestly, I'm doing this in the month of January pretty much every morning. I'm starting at 5:30 UK time, so that's pretty early for some people. But because I want to be able to still do what I need to do for the rest of the day, it's better for me, it's easier for me if I start early and just crack on with it. So you can join us every morning if you feel like that community spirit helps you just conquer and just keeps going, keeps you going like it does me. If anyone ever wants to, come on live as well, just send me an invite while I'm live. I can put you on live, and we can all walk together. I got a few nice playlists I'm quite happy to share. So again, just send me a message if you'd like some nice playlists to get you through the workout. So I find that when I have a nice playlist on, I don't feel as tired. Like I'm not watching the time and asking myself, it feels like I've been walking for the last 700 hours and I've only done 1,000 steps. I don't feel that way when I have music or when I'm talking to you guys. So you guys are really helping me out. I love this. I love it when I come online. The last couple of times that I've done it, it's been absolutely wonderful. Some people had questions, so please feel free to put your questions in the chat. From time to time, I'll look down and I will answer those questions. Now, some people, just talking about all the health benefits of, getting your wellness on, getting fitter. People who are, who have a bit of insulin resistance, so my lovely ladies with PCOS, where fertility may have been an issue as well. It is proven that as that weight comes down and that insulin resistance, because adipose tissue, the fat cells, increase our insulin resistance. So what does insulin resist? It means that, so insulin helps us to process our sugar. Hello, Amal. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. You have been awesome. So insulin helps us process our sugar, and if we're resistant to insulin, it means that those sugar levels are just running amok in our system and causing all sorts of damage to the eyes, to the kidneys, to the nerves. And if we can reduce our adipose tissue, which is just a fancy way of saying the fatty tissue that we carry in different areas, we can actually reduce that insulin resistance. And we know that as weight loss starts to happen, people actually start to ovulate more. So if you're on a fertility journey, God knows I know how hard that can be. Get walking. Whether you choose to do it walking on the spot, whether you choose to do it on a walking pad like this, or outside, or in the gym, just start somewhere. Yeah. Charlie, if you're still here, will you let us know how you get on, like with what I said about starting on the lower settings? Do you have, is it this one that you've got? Or you can get you one of those where you've got the handlebars. I think I've got it linked in my showcase, and I think I probably added it onto the products for this line as well. You can hold on to that for a bit of support initially, until you kind of get used to it. Once I stop this, because I've kind of been doing that motion for a while, I do feel a bit woozy, like for the first couple of seconds. So it is perfectly normal. Oh, you guys, my awesome sister just sent a treasure box. If you don't know what that is, it's at the top left corner of the screen, and it contains TikTok coins. So you can click on those and get you some TikTok coins that you can share. Yeah. So it's not ready to be opened just yet. There's a timer on it. It says 2 minutes 19 seconds. So as soon as that timer counts down, please click on the treasure box at the top left corner, and you can get you some lovely TikTok coins. Yeah. And this translates to TikTok to money, I think, on your app, or you can spend it on your favorite content creators. You can do whatever you want with it, really. So I talked about so many benefits of walking, and I personally do my walking in the morning because it sets me up for the day. And I walk around half the time I walk around with a bit of a smile. I find I'm not as snappy, like I don't snap at people. Honestly, I don't know if it's just a me thing. I just feel better in myself. I feel like the endorphins have been released. I've been set up on a good standing for the rest of the day. And I walk around with a bit of a smile on my face, like I have a little secret, because I've already done something awesome towards my wellness before the day has officially started. Like I said, 10k a day gives me about, I burn about just over 500 calories from walking 10,000 steps. Imagine starting your day already on good footing. I'm of African descent, so I eat my African dishes. The key thing is just moderation and knowing exactly how many calories. So we've got about 30 seconds on that treasure box at the top left-hand corner. So please just keep an eye on that. As soon as it counts down, you can click on it, and that should get you some lovely TikTok coins that you can use. Yeah, so keep an eye. We're 9 seconds in. Not to start a competition, but I think she's ready to be open. So go ahead and click on that coin, on that treasure box, and get you some coins, some TikTok coins. Say, look at that. You've come to watch this person walk on their walking pad, get motivated, and get you some TikTok money in the process. What is not to love about it? So some of the benefits of walking. I'm going to be doing this daily throughout January, even beyond, but my initial target for the year is January, 10k a day. And I want you to challenge yourself. We're 4 days in already. Literally, even if you start on day 29, it's still something. But yeah, you can take a before picture and let that motivate you, because it keeps you keen. You're like interested to see how your body changed. You don't want to just imagine it, do a video and just take a 360 profile of yourself in your video and just save that. And when we check in on day 31, even if you haven't seen the biggest shift on the scale, I promise you there will be a big shift in your mental health, your cognition, that brain fog that feels like there's a lot of spider webs in the way will clear. Honestly, it's the benefits have been awesome for me since I started this. If you were here earlier, I know it says day 4 of 31 today, but I've actually been doing this for a bit longer. And I can see my clothes fit much better. I feel a lot more confident in myself. Not that I wasn't confident in myself prior, but there's just an extra layer that I don't think anyone can really explain to you. You have to feel it to understand what I'm saying. And then when we touch base, whether that be a month or in 2 months or 3 months or however many months, you can take another picture of yourself and compare the two, or take another video and just marvel at how your body changes because you've committed however many minutes towards your wellness. With this, you can literally get up, get your shoes on and go. So yeah, with this, I do it with my shoes on because it's less, the impact, like you don't hear the boom boom of my feet making impact with the walking pad. So I recommend that. I used my higher soled shoes for it. You can use whatever trainers you've got because I feel like it just provides me a lot more cushioning when I use these shoes. I do my stretches before so that I can get my joints nice and limber and I don't hurt myself. And I do my stretches after as well. So you don't have to start with 10K if you're not someone who has the most active job or you're not used to walking. You don't want to crash and burn. So I highly recommend starting slow. I do have a program. You're not paying for anything, don't worry. Should I call it a program, like a walking routine on how to kind of build capacity? So I can share that with you if you just leave me a comment. Maybe not on the live because I may not see it. Maybe if you drop a comment on any of the walking videos on my page, I will go ahead and send you that walking, what should I call it, like a timetable, something to help you kind of build your capacity depending on how many steps you think you can start with. I'll send you a generic one and then you can kind of work around, you know, whether you're a day 2 starter or a day 3 starter and just build it up from there. Honestly, I've had no regrets taking charge. I took control of my own wellness and I knew that I couldn't go out running every morning. It wasn't practical for me as a mom of 2 young children that I would have to get ready for school sometimes. Dad, who's a medic, is probably on call, so it's just us at home. So there's no way I'm leaving them at 5:30 in the morning to go out running. You know what I mean? And that can easily mean that there's no workout for that day. But because I can walk from indoors, there's absolutely no reason, unless I'm feeling terribly unwell for some reason, there's no reason for me not to get my 10K steps in. So it's entirely up to you how you go about this. You can either break it into 10-minute sessions, 20-minute sessions, literally start wherever you feel the most comfortable. Don't stay there too long because you do have to push yourself, but always start where you feel the most comfortable. So I remember when I did my first like start to finish 10K rather than breaking it up, you guys, I felt pain in my bum muscles, like this is TMI, but it was so sore. Even as a medic, you know, places where you're like, wow, so there's a muscle there, because I knew I'd worked those muscles, and I literally had to take 2 days just to kind of recover from that. And it's about listening to your body. In my recovery phase, I was still saying to myself, I'm going back to it. But if I push myself with the pain, so it wasn't a discomfort, it was quite sore, then it will cause me to crash and burn, and I'll probably never complete what I started. So I knew when it was time to take a bit of a break. And then what I did subsequently was that I then did a 1 hour walk for a couple of days before I picked it back up to doing the full 10K. And literally now, sometimes when I'm walking, especially when I'm talking or I'm listening to some good music, also I've got some lovely playlists that I can share. Again, just leave me a comment on any of my exercise videos. I will get to them and I'll tell you what those playlists are. And then you can feel free to share your playlists as well. I mostly walk to gospel music. I find it the most motivational for me. So if you've got any lovely workout, like pump gospel music playlists, like extra points if it's Afrobeats gospel, oh my god, wow, I love those. Let me know what they are and I can go check them out. I use Spotify, but if you've got playlists on YouTube or Amazon Music, send them to me. I've got access to those accounts as well. But yeah, so back to when I did my initial 10K steps. It was hard. I'm gonna be honest, like, you know, I'm not out here with all the chiseled muscles and telling you, oh, here's what I do. It was hard, but I knew, remember what I talked about regarding the goal. I could see in my mind's eye, I could see the cholesterol clearing from my arteries. You know, I could see myself thinking clearly. I could see the woman that I'm trying to become, you know, who's not carrying as much weight in her midsection. I could see her and I wanted to meet her. So after my 2-day break, I got back on the walking pad. So that first walk was actually not even on the walking pad. That was, I've done like a few, but the straight 10K one was an outdoors walk, and it was very brisk and fast. Like even I knew that I was doing the most that day. But yeah, I got on my walking pad and I started to build that capacity. And now, sometimes when I'm talking to you or listening to music, I just walk, and a lot of the times I'm at 11K before I realize that, okay, it's time to stop. And this is a big departure from going from somebody who was constantly watching the clock, like, oh, I've been doing this for the last 10 minutes and I feel like I'm not yet at even 5K steps, you know, that sort of thing, to actually enjoying it. So being a part of a community helps. Thank you so much, Omar. So yeah, she's just saying that you will be able to see, oh, somebody awesome has left us some more treasure boxes. Thank you. So, hey, okay, I am Bima, 8K done. Right, let me see how much I have. So, yeah, did we start at the same time? What time did you start, I am Bima? Because I'm also at 8K. I've been walking for over an hour now. So I think in about 15 minutes or 20 tops, I should have got to my 10K goal for the day. Well done, babe. 5:10, that is amazing, that is awesome. That is awesome. So I started about, I think, 5:40 something. So we're making progress. I am Bima, 4K, yeah. So she's doing. So I'm Bima is walking. Like I said, you can pick your settings. She's doing 4 kilometers per hour. I think I'm doing 5. I think I started again. When I start, I usually will start at maybe 2 or 3, and just gradually increase the pace. Because when you first wake up, I'm not I don't think I'm a morning person. I'm not super grumpy, but like it takes me a few minutes to get going. And I don't want to just jump on the scale and then get my heart doing all of that work. So I will start gradually. So, awesome. I am Bima. I am so happy to have you on this team. Let's do it together. Let's crush those goals together. I think having community support definitely helps us achieve our goals. And we can compare notes, like we can ask questions. I was doing XYZ and I noticed this and that, and somebody else might say, oh yeah, I noticed that, and here's the fix, and here's what I did. So I think it's really, really important. If you're interested in getting the walking pad, there's also the treadmill version where you can place your cup holder, and that one goes up to, I want to say 7, maybe 12. I'll need to double check that for you. And literally you can either walk or run. I'm more of a walking gal at the moment, so this has been super awesome. For the time that I've had it, it has most definitely absolutely paid for itself in terms of the number of times I've used it and the number of times my other relatives have used it. And to get my kids curious about wellness and exercise and fitness. My dad is a retired military man, so there's always been a level of fitness in my life, but as life started lifing, I gradually, other things will take up your time and you just kind of step further and further away from that. And it's been so good for my mental health to come back, to where I started. So I absolutely recommend this. You get to pick and choose your exercise time and your exercise routine. Maybe you're not somebody who wants to go to the gym, you're not interested in having all eyes on you when you do your thing. Well, do it from the comfort of your home. Get you a walking pad or a treadmill if you're going to be doing a lot of running. I've got awesome products in the baskets, but you guys take advantage of the coins that my lovely sister dropped. She's been so amazing. Thank you so much, Amo. I really appreciate you. When you like the live, it recommends it to people. So you may not be on a wellness journey. Maybe you're already performing at peak performance and you know how good that feels. Maybe share the live, then somebody else who has been thinking about it see somebody who's doing something about it and then they get motivated. You've helped someone by doing that. So you can share the live by clicking the little arrow at the bottom right of the screen, and just share it to people, whether you think they will need it or not, because when you share it to them, then they can decide if they have people in their lives who will benefit from having that community to push them. So we're walking live. You can ask your questions live. We can talk to each other. If you want to come on and join me live, just send me an invitation to say I would like to join, and I will add you to the live stream. And the way to do it, there's you see the two heads at the bottom of the screen. Mine showing up as yellow and blue, and if you click on that, that lets the host know that you would like to join the live stream. So So if you're just joining, we're out here walking to 10K. This is something that we're doing daily. Apologies if I look a bit distracted. Sorry if I can't see your invite. I need to have a walk around for that. I may need to nominate someone to help me with that side of things. But let's do this again tomorrow. And when you come on, then I will be able to add you to the live stream if you want to walk live and encourage somebody else visually. You being here, I don't have a moderator or more. Would you like to be my moderator? But I do start very, very early, I think. But I will be able to sort that out. Again, some of the things that I need to speak to you about. Omo has been absolutely amazing. She's got a fabulous community. So I think you'll give me some pointers on how to get it set up. Yeah, because I think it's so important to have that. She's laughing at me. Oh, you guys, sometimes you start something out and there's just one goal. Literally, my one goal was get out there and walk that walk. Obviously, there are little nuances that. So initially, when I started, I know a lot of things to learn. When I started, there were lots of people asking about the walking pad. I didn't have it linked on my live. It was in my showcase, but I didn't have it linked on my live video. And I think linking it, it was a bit conflicting because I don't want you to think that that's the point of it. The point is we're getting fit, we're getting healthy. But I feel like when it's linked, then that's at least one question answered. And then we can focus on other aspects of that wellness and fitness. Oh, you guys, there's an awesome treasure box up there. It's counting down from 4 minutes, so keep an eye on it. Once you count down to 0, you can click on it and get you some awesome coins. So some of the awesome benefits of this lovely community is that you not only get fitness motivation, health talk about why fitness is important, but you also leave with some money on your TikTok accounts. Like, what's there? What's not to love about it? Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you 1,000%. Walking doesn't have to be fancy. Like, if you go to my page, you see me walk in my pajamas. I just want to walk, like, literally, as long as I'm not causing injury to myself. You guys, I've walked in shorts, I just want to move. The goal is to move. If I wasn't live, literally I'd roll out of bed, put my shoes on and get to walking, and that's the beauty of this walking pad. To get you one of these or the treadmill, if you're going to be doing a bit of running. So don't forget to keep an eye on that treasure box. It's at the top left-hand corner of your screen. It's counting down at the moment, and in about 3 minutes and 18 seconds you will be able to get you some lovely coins from it. Hi Sim, and to everyone who's been on for a while. We're out here walking 10K steps a day. I do mine in one go so that every other step throughout the day is an endorphin release. It's a bonus because I'm like, hey, I've already got my 10K anyway, but here's 5 more steps or 10 more steps towards that fitness and wellness. So I'm coming here live every single day in January. Usually I start about 5:30 5:30, 5:40, thereabouts. If there will be a change in that timing, I will send a message out to let you know that there's a slight change. But usually I prefer to get mine done in the morning, and then for the rest of the day I can focus on other things. And doing it in the morning helps me kind of get my blood pumping. I'm ready to go out there and do whatever the day brings, conquer the day. This walker has paid for itself several times over. Work out the cost of the gym membership, the time that it takes for you to get from your home to the gym. That is automatically taken out, so that's time that you can actually spend being productive rather than just getting to and from the gym. I'm not vilifying gyms in any way, shape or form. I'm just saying that this takes away that extra layer of, oh, I can't go out today. Or if you're not somebody who was going to get a gym membership anyway, maybe you were planning to go out walking. There's going to be a lot of snow today. I don't know that there will be many people on the roads running. How much weight have I lost since starting? So, as I said from the beginning, I'll tell you, but I always try to move away from just the amount of weight. For me, my walking, losing the weight on the scale is the bonus. But there's so much more that this is riding on. So I was saying to people who were here earlier on, when we carry extra weight, that's extra pressure on our joints. Our blood vessels usually are nice and open, allowing blood to flow to our brain, our heart, our kidneys, liver, all parts of the body where we need it. And as we carry that extra weight, it narrows the blood vessels, so people start to experience things like brain fog. You know, you feel like, oh, I can't quite complete this thought, or you get a task at work and you're struggling to finish it. That's because there's less of those nutrients and oxygen over time going to supply those very important structures, in this case your brain, and that can cause a lot of brain fog. So I've lost 4 kilograms since I started. I didn't start, so my challenge says it's day 4 of 31, and that's because that's when I decided to do it publicly. So I've had my walk, and I started doing 10k steps a day. I've been doing that for about a month, and in that time, for about 6 weeks, and in that time I've lost about 4 kilograms. So the goal, I know, so for me, I'm not tired, because with weight loss people will peak, so people might experience a period where nothing's happening on the scale, but there's a lot of remodeling happening on the inside, and I don't want us to focus on just the scale, because that is the bonus of what we're trying to do. There's so much benefits from getting more active. The wellness, the fitness, the strength that comes with it definitely supersedes. Did you guys click on the treasure box? Did you get some coins from that? Awesome. Click on the treasure box at the top left corner. I think it's gone now. I think there's nothing left there. But yeah, so if the focus is just on what's happening on the scale, people will get tired, because you might have a period where nothing's happening on the scale, but a lot of it is happening, because sometimes the fat cells will be replaced by muscle cells, so there's no net weight loss, but something is happening. So the focus should be on the health aspects of it, and that's why when I come on, at the risk of sounding, hey, awesome Bima, how many coins did you get? I am Bima girl. She clicked on the treasure box. You guys, the awesome thing about this live is you not only get fitness tips or health talk or inspirations, get out and get stepping. You also get some just to get some money on your TikTok accounts. What's not to love about this? So yeah, I was saying about the wellness component, I believe. Is that what I was talking about? And there's so much benefits there. And even if you go through a plateau phase where there isn't much happening on the scale, and then you give up just before you are about to reach your accelerated phase where you suddenly look at the scale and it's like, what? Where did those 2 kilograms go? Then you would have missed that opportunity if the focus is purely awesome. So you got some coins, that is amazing. Love that. So you guys, every day between 5:30 and 7, just after 7:30, I will be here walking my way to wellness, to mental clarity, better mental health, better cardiovascular health, better kidney function. So just if you want to join us, just tune in between those times. You don't have to do 10K all at once. Start where you are and gradually build up your capacity until you get to where you're trying to go. But like literally, at the risk of sounding like a motivational speaker, start afraid, start feeling like, what am I doing? But it's January. If you want to invest in yourself and give yourself a gift that will keep on giving, get you one of these walking pads. It will transform your fitness. This is the remote control for it. You can literally pick how fast you're going. So Ian Beamer said to me that she was going at 4 kilometers. You can go anywhere from 1 to 6 on this walking pad, and 6 feels like a light jog. I think I'm on 5 at the moment, maybe I'm on 4. And honestly, she mentioned that she's doing it right next to her bed with her little one sleeping. That is how awesome this product is. Like, you do not have to get yourself dressed, find someone to look after your kids, spend time getting to the gym, spend all of that time is immediately translated into your fitness goal. So the product is below in the yellow basket. Anytime you count the cost of fitness, count the cost of not being fit as well. And as scary as it sounds, latest statistics, some of the things that have been eye-openers for me have been health scares personally for myself, but also the latest statistics regarding, the incidence of cancers. In the past it was a lot lower, but literally latest statistics says 1 in 2 people will have a diagnosis of cancer in their lifetime. That is shocking, it's staggering, and I do not want to be a part of that statistic. Lots of cancers have been linked with obesity, and if I can walk to mitigate that risk so that I'm here for my children and here for myself, I build capacity to go higher in whatever I choose to do. It's a no-brainer for me. So the cost was very little, honestly. Think about if you have to pay for childcare. It takes me an hour and a half to walk 10K. If I have to pay somebody to come look after my kids, how many people can I even get to come do that between 5:30 in the morning and 7? It will be a premium price if at all I find anybody who's available. That pays for itself very quickly, because an hour and a half every single day, even if you don't count the entire year, the first 31 days, that pays for itself halfway through that. If you count the cost of the gym membership, which you have to spend extra time getting to and getting back from, again, that quickly pays for itself. I'm not the only person in my household that uses this, so my husband uses this as well. So imagine a combined gym membership. A 10-year-old, from time to time, she'll go on this as well. So it really is, it's a no-brainer. It's very, very effective. I'm trimmer. A lot of that midsection weight is gone. I sit down. Like the other day I was driving and I didn't realize just how light, even when I roll over in bed, like to get out of bed, I just feel so much lighter in myself. I feel like as soon as you say, do you want to, like, yes, I want to go there, because I feel I've got so much more energy. So that is me winding down. Let's see, did I turn that off by, do you see, this is what happens when you're having fun. I'm well over my 10k steps, you guys, and I didn't even realize it because you guys have been super awesome. But I've been walking for let me see, I've been walking for about an hour and 38 minutes, if you clocked that just then, and it has been fabulous. Need I say more? Have a look in the yellow basket. You can also go on my showcase. There's so many exercise materials that you can get. Obviously you don't have to break the bank. If you had to get one, start here. But there's so much else that we can be doing, and with time I will be sharing those with you. Thank you to everyone, all 33 amazing people that are here right now, and throughout the live I've had hundreds of people, so I do appreciate you all for turning up. When I decided to start going live with my walking at 5:30 in the morning, you know, I couldn't believe you know, that people would tune in, and the turnout has been amazing. So check, the product is linked for you in the yellow basket. Let's get fitter, stronger, build capacity, cover goals that we've set but we've never had the capacity for. Let's do all of that in 2025, and I will see you at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. Bye, have a nice day. Leave me questions. You can go on my page, accept my request. I will accept your request. I will accept your request. Oh, I can't see your request. Oh yeah, I can't see your request. There you go. So this is my sister.
Harriet.
Yes.
You can enlarge your own books.
Right, okay, let me enlarge my
expand
own.
it.
Let me see. I
Let's do
think
some coaching this morning before I go to work. Yeah. Now, go to your settings. Do you know where the setting is?
I do.
Yeah. Go to settings. Under settings, you should see moderator, set a moderator.
Sorry guys, I'm just getting some coaching from my awesome yeah, moderators. Yes.
So you can pick any name you want for the moderator, and under the moderator you still have settings of the things the moderator can do.
Yeah.
Yes. Go and set them. So if you want to allow your moderator to pick people up, to accept requests, people's requests, to mute, you know, just check the.
Yeah, that is awesome. You guys, apologies that we're doing this on the live, but we might as well.
Because that is where you can only do it actually.
So I'm going to send you as my as one of my moderators. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, that's all right. Any time I have opportunity to join.
Yeah. So just give me 1 second to.
Babe, you didn't tell me you're going. Since when have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for some time, for about a week now.
Are you serious? How come I didn't see you? Is it because I don't come on live in the morning like that?
At that time, you know, it's very early in the morning, so yeah, you're probably not aware.
Sometimes I sleep late, so I wake up late. I don't do too well. I'm just on the line and this is Harriet. Now, what is Harriet?
No, this is my year of taking my health
Yes,
and
so
wellness seriously.
you.
Hey, I am Bima, 10,500 steps done. That is awesome. Denise, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you.
Have you done the settings?
Yes, I'm just trying to add one more moderator, but I can't even seem to find that person on my list now.
If the person is not here, you might not be able to do to.
Oh, is that it?
Yes. It might be difficult to search for their unless you know their names and search for it.
Mm,
You can search for the name. You can write out the name and search for it. And there is one thing: if you accept people in the box while you are doing your advert, you won't be
yeah.
able to pin product down. You know they pin product down up.
What did you say?
Do you know they pin product down up? I mean, you pin it down up your screen. A product. I didn't mean you have about 10 products, 20 products. The one you're talking about at the moment, you pin it down up, it will be up. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, you can pin it down up. It won't be inside the basket. You can pin it down up. Anybody that comes in will see the pin down.
right.
So, but the thing is, if you put people, if you have a guest like this, like I'm in the box like this, you won't be able to do the pin down. Only if you are the only one on the screen.
Oh, right. Okay.
You get it? You may have people in the box and be doing your product, but if you are thinking of okay, let me pin down the product I'm talking about at the moment, let me pin it down for people to see. You see it at the top of people's comments. It will be pinned down there. So you can only do that if you are the only one on the screen and not having a guest. Like we are guests like this.
Mm-hmm.
So and you can adjust your box. Probably you want to adjust these boxes to just two or three. Do you know how to do that? That is not going to be eight like this. Uh, do you know how to do that? If you want to adjust the boxes to like maybe six or three or four, that's not going to be up to this. So your own will be more bigger than this size.
Could you talk me through how to do that, please?
Okay. Um, where you accept guests in, that place you accept at the left side of your phone, you will see guests as if you want to accept people in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. On that guest, click on the guest thing, look at the up, you will see settings. One round like a ring settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Click on
Oh,
the
yeah.
settings. Yeah, you will see the boxes. Do you want to set it to two to if it is grid? Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Got you. That is awesome.
Yeah. So you can do it this way. If you want more people to be in the box, you can do it that way.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you.
You know how to clap? Maybe you have someone like that from you. You want to clap for them. You want to laugh.
Yeah, show me now.
Laugh. Yeah. Go to your right side of the phone. You will see enhance.
Right, let me leave the setting. The right side.
Yeah, you will see enhance.
Yes, enhance. Yes.
Under it, you will see different. You see sound effects. You will see sticker. You will see different thing under the enhance. You will see background effect. You can change your background if you want. You can put the product in your background. You can snap the product.
I'm clapping for you because you're being amazing to me right now.
So if you want to put the product behind you, probably that product you have screenshot it on your phone and you want to put it at your background, you can actually do that as well.
Right. Okay.
So you will see under the enhance, you will see no background. I think it's the effect where you will see green effect. Under that green effect, that is when you will change the picture and the picture of what you want. No, not this one. Look at the one. This one is with the microphone. There are so many green effects there. Search for another one. This one is just going to show inside the green, but there is one that is, is full. Yes, this one. So you can change. You can put any picture you want. Your picture, the picture of the product, stuff like that. You're a very good learner.
Right. I'm with you. That's awesome. So I can do all of this.
Yes, you can do that, and you can actually there is one thing called goodie bag. You see that goodie bag? You can give this treasure box I'm sending. There's one thing about treasure box. The more you send it, the more you see people coming into the live stream. Because it will drag them in.
Right. Where is the goodie? But it's not on enhance anymore, is it?
Go to settings. Under the settings, it's not under the enhance. Under the settings.
Oh yeah, I see treasure box and goodie bag.
So under that goodie bag, you have different things to do. You can say, if you want this coin, share the live. You can say, if you want this coin, add a comment. You write the comment you want there. There are different things there. So you can say, if you want this coin, anybody that wants to pick from this coin should share the live, should add this comment. You can pick any one of it.
Right. You guys, just in case you're just joining, this is our 10K steps a day, but my awesome sister is showing me a few things to amp up our sessions. So can I do this? Can I set this like once the live has ended?
No, you can only do it while you're on live.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only do it while you're on live here.
So then when the live ends, my subsequent live, when I go live again, will those still be there? Those settings will be...
Of course, it's just for you to know where they are and how to use it.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you've known that, and you can set your live goal. You can set your live goal before the live. That one before the live. So you set your live goal, anything you want to be there. Do you know how to set the live goal? You should know that.
Yeah, I do know how to set the live goal. I do. Thank you.
You know how to write your welcoming address to people. This is that, like, you sell products. Check for my yellow basket.
Hi, Nat. Sorry, Omo. Hi, Nat. Good morning. Did you manage to get your walk in today? Thank you so much for joining. I know I saw you yesterday. But my dear sister is just showing me a few things, but I just thought to say hi to you. So yes, I know how to set my live goal. You were saying something else that I could do.
What was I saying?
Sorry, I've distracted you. My bad.
The live goal is before the live stream.
Yes, I can.
Even your people can subscribe to you as well. Your subscription, something is there, but that can be done. It's anybody can subscribe at any time when you open the live stream. But the live goal is you're gonna set it before the live stream starts. And do that. And there is one thing about Treasure Box as well. The more people are trying to pick it, yes. Can you see the pin thing I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've just seen that now.
So
you can only pin one thing, is it?
Yeah, at a time.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So you might have 3 products, probably you are showing one at the moment, you pin it down for people to see. You are showing another one, you pin that another one down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think the reason I even put it up in the first place is because there's quite a few people that were, that asked a couple of times when I came live, but I would just say go to the showcase. But I think it's just easier.
Is it only this you have on your showcase?
No, there's a few other things there.
You can put the few other things there. Does not matter. So once people are clicking on your yellow basket, they see this one. But if you are using this one at the moment in the morning, you can just pin it down. But if they click on your yellow basket, they will see other products you sell.
Yeah.
But the only thing is that I don't know, probably if you pin those, if you put those products in your yellow basket, if you don't talk about them, I don't know if they're going to talk or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's fine with the walking pad for now. Like, my goal is just to get people walking, and if they're interested in what I use, then they can actually see it as well.
And anyone who wants to see anything else can always have a look on my showcase if they're interested in
Just
that.
tell them, you'll be telling them you've got so many things on your showcase if they're interested. So
Yeah.
you can get from there as well.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. So on this live today, we got 10K steps. I got, let me see, I got over 10,000 steps done this morning. You guys got a lot of amazing coins, and you got to see the products that I use. We listened to some music. So let's do this again tomorrow morning. I'm here usually. I start at between 5:30 and 5:40. I'm usually here between that time, and I will usually go for about an hour and a half, maybe a bit more. So let's, get our fitness done together. I really appreciate you, Omo. You've shown me some really awesome stuff to elevate the live, and I really appreciate you. Thank you. You've been my personal person, even though I disappeared for a while. But thank you so much
Well,
for.
you've not set the moderator thing in that. I'm not sure you've set that.
Oh, have I not sent? I think, did I not set you as one of my moderators?
No, have not. I can't do anything for now because I'm trying to like mute stuff like that to see if I
Right.
can keep
Let
people.
me just let me just double check and see
You have
see
not-
what I've done.
you go to settings under moderators as well and give them access to things. You have to
Yeah,
give them access
because
to.
it says here comment, turn off comments, mute accounts, block accounts,
Add guests.
yeah, manage guests, pin customized, yeah, product management,
Oh, really?
real time data,
And you've added my name. Yeah, you've added it. I've seen it. Yeah.
yeah. So you're on there.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
So, what about days you go to work? Do you still do it?
Yeah, so I do it in I try and get it done in the morning, just before the rest of my day starts. But I've said to people on days where I feel like I might not do it in the morning, I might do it later in the day, or if I'm not doing it that day, which rarely happens, I'll send a message out to let people know anyway. Or if you just don't see me live, then I haven't done it. But yeah, I do it every day, every single day.
All right. That's good.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to see you online this morning.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you were able to join. Kaz was here as well.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So it was very.
Is
It
it
was,
today?
yeah, this morning.
Wow.
So yeah, that was very good. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate everyone who was here. Some people I know stayed pretty much from start to finish. Like, you're the real MVPs. Those who didn't, you guys are super amazing. Just remember that however many steps you can get in is, if you got 1,000 steps in, that's 1,000 steps more than you would have done anyway. So you're making progress. So let's keep showing up every day. I'm here between 5:30, 5:40 start time. I'm here for at least an hour and a half because that's how long it takes me to get 10,000 steps. You can join in at any time. That community spirit helps us to keep going. If you want the products that I use, you've got it in front of you there. It's also in my showcase. So, it's paid for itself several times over. I cannot recommend it enough. But until I come again next week, not next week, I'm lying. Until I come again tomorrow, take care and have a fabulous day, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you.
darling. Do you know how to disconnect people from the box?
I,
You click on them, you see disconnect, and you disconnect them from the box.
yes.